I'd love to know, this may be an impossible question, but what you think is maybe the strongest driving factor in the past 50 years of music's evolution.
So 50 years would be like 75, and that's also, I'm 50. I turned 50 3 days ago.
Yes,
so
happy belated.
Thank you. Not that I remember anything that was happening in 1975, obviously, but I guess sampling. I mean, it's always technology. There's always going to be brilliant people creating stuff in any time. There's going to be brilliant minds who are making melody, rhythm, lyrics, songs, but sampling and the evolution of technology, and I guess because that sort of invented hip-hop, that I guess maybe since jazz would be the preeminent American art form that's been exported to the world, jazz and the blues. So I think like sampling, which in the 80s meant like literally a sampler making records for, you know, Run DMC and the Beastie Boys and LL Cool J and all the people that define that era, but now that just means like your laptop or whatever the software that you make. And as much as I love the music of the 60s and 70s and analog recording and analog warmth and Stevie Wonder and Steely Dan and Miles Davis, if you were really asking me, I was being straight up about the most influential thing of the last 50 years, I would just have to say sampling and laptops.
Right, thank you. Follow up to that, I spoke very, very briefly about interviewed Daryl Hall in the short film, and at the end of the interview, I asked him his thoughts on terms like yacht rock and blue-eyed soul, and he's not a fan, to say the least.
Well, I'm sure he doesn't. I imagine he doesn't mind the term blue-eyed soul, but he just is not a fan of yacht rock, or does he not like blue-eyed soul?
Can't stand it.
I guess I understand, because he was really at the forefront of, he was just like an incredibly soulful guy from Philly. We all know, and I've spoken to Daryl about it, Philly dudes have like a chip on their shoulder ready because it's not New York, and he was probably just doing his thing, and here's these people suddenly want to put a label on it. I kind of hate the term yacht rock because I do think it's like, it's kitschy and gimmicky, and it sums up something in its little quirky phrase that is like, I do find demeaning, but at the same time, it's an easy umbrella to put a lot of fucking great music that I really love like under it, and it's certainly brought a lot of people to the party that wouldn't have found it otherwise, because like, oh, I'm going on a yacht rock cruise, or I love this yacht rock station, or I'm going to see this yacht rock DJ. You know, maybe there's a chance those people wouldn't have heard Peg or something if it wasn't for that. But yeah, I know it sounds like a cop-out, but I just call it music. It's like, it's one of my favorite eras of music. It was great before it had a term. To sum it all up, it'll continue to be great.
Is there a genre of music, maybe an old genre, that you think is due for a renaissance?
I think like nothing ever really goes away. It's just like people keep picking up and reinventing it. You think about like old 50s jazz, and when Tribe Called Quest and DJ Premier like reinvented that for the 90s and all that stuff. And I guess the things that I was doing when I worked with Amy Winehouse, sort of taking things from the 50s and 60s that she really loved, and just not trying to be like, hey, let's update this, but we just loved it, and we were making it in 2006 or at our time, so it's going to sound like something different. But there's no genre that like totally comes to mind. I am obsessed with 90s shit right now because of my book, and I've been DJing out and playing records again and playing all the great music from the 90s, all the Missy Elliott and Gang Starr, but music is always moving forward, evolving.